We're back. Let's go. It's the record. Welcome everyone to this episode on the Ultimate Sports TV, and today we will be doing the NBA's top 10 players of 2019. But before we get to that, here's our honorable mentions for this list. Not people who just missed the list, but Russell Westbrook, LeBron, Kemba Walker, Rudy Gobert, and D'Angelo Russell. Coming in number 10 is Kyrie for our NBA's top 10 players of 2019. Kyrie, well, he's not here because he's been playing at his best so far, because the Celtics didn't get far in the East standings as they were the 4th seed. But Kyrie is mostly here because there were no players instead of him that were most likely ahead of him, like LeBron, Russell Westbrook. Surprisingly, LeBron's not in. He just had a horrible season with the Lakers. But Kyrie, his leadership was questionable this year, but he played at a high enough level to make this list at number 10. And his playmaking this year was out of control, and his handles are just out of control. Like in the playoffs when he played the Pacers, people were going crazy all over the internet about it. So it's really about his playmaking this year, not really about his leadership. But in the first round of the playoffs, I like how he led the Celtics to the semifinals to get past the Pacers. They swept them. Kyrie, he had good leadership in that round, but through most of the season, I don't feel like his leadership was that good. He's just not meant to be a good leader. I think Kyrie was just over himself when he wanted to lead the Cavs for the Celtics. But because of his playmaking, Kyrie Irving, he does deserve to make number 10 on the NBA top 10 players of 2019. But him and Damian Lillard will switch places from last year on my channel. Damian Lillard will be number 9 this year. He made all NBA teams again, and he did surprisingly good this year. Unlike Kyrie, Damian Lillard actually had good leadership. The other thing that's unlike Kyrie is Damian Lillard did not have such a big ego. He was willing to let others step in so they could win. He was willing to let others make plays so they could win. He's an unselfish player, and that's what I like about Damian Lillard. Just like in Game 7 of the Nuggets, he let CJ McCollum take control of the team there, and he had his hot streak, and they ended up winning. But after that, they ended up getting swept by the Warriors. But Damian Lillard's leadership, I was about to say Lillardship, which could be a good catchphrase, but his leadership got him on this list, and his unselfishness, and his playmaking, and most of all, his clutchness. I think he's one of the most clutch players in the NBA, and if we were ranking right now, he would be on my top 10 clutch players list, which could come soon. Coming in at number 8, Joel Embiid for the Philadelphia 76ers. This dude, his determination and hard work this year blew me away. When Jimmy Butler came to the team, Joel Embiid was not so happy of him getting the ball and stuff. But later in the year, he figured it out. He was able to get the ball the way he wanted and the way it needed to happen for the Sixers offense to work. And I'm proud of Joel Embiid for doing it that way. And it's just, again, most of these players on this list are playmakers. He was a really good playmaker this year, and as I said, him adjusting to Jimmy Butler was really good, and he just had a great season this year. And Joel Embiid, great job. Coming in at number 7 is Kevin Durant. I had to switch him with somebody who is at number 6 right now that we're going to get to right after him. But Kevin Durant, earlier in the season, when Steph Curry got injured, I loved his ability to even be an unselfish player, just like I talked about Damian Lillard. Nice unselfish playing from Kevin Durant, but of course what he has to do is take it all on his own. Kevin Durant was great while Steph Curry was gone, and great when he was there. Kevin Durant, just a great player overall this season and in his career, and he deserves to be on the NBA's top 10 players of 2019, and that's why he has the number 7 spot. The dude I was talking about, Kawhi Leonard, he blew my mind this season. Kawhi, you have the number 6 spot because you are the closest thing to Jordan we've seen. His clutchness blew me away, as you just saw that shot right there versus Portland, which would get them to win on a Friday. It was incredible. I can't even explain how clutch he was. Not only that, he was clutch on offense and defense. Not was he only clutch on offense and defense. He was just great at defense. He was great at stealing the ball. He was great at just sending the defense the other way. And Jordan was able to play offense and defense, which is why we consider him as one of the best player ever. The best player ever. And that's why we're saying Kawhi is the closest thing we've seen. Look at this defense right there. It's just great. I have that highlight on my channel if you want to go check it out again. But this play right here also won them the game, which is clutch defense right there, as I was talking about. And what really got him on this list was his defense. And of course, he's the closest thing to Jordan right now. Kawhi just blew me away this season, and that is the reason why he made this list, because of course his clutch defense and offense, and he was the closest thing to Jordan. Man, I don't even know what else to say about Kawhi this season. Maybe he should have got in front of someone else, but I think the people ahead of you should be in the places they are at. Coming in at number 5, he was very close to being in the NBA MVP conversation. It's Nikola Jokic, coming in at number 5. Woo, Nikola, you've had 2 straight years of being great. You're a great rising star in this league, and you have way many more years to come of greatness. He was a great scorer this year, and he was just a great all-around player, and you could see it in his triple-doubles. A great all-around player, and he recorded the fastest triple-double this season. It was a record, so if he records the fastest triple-double, which that means he's the fastest player to do things all around. And he would take stuff on his own too, along with passing, and just he'll do it for his team. But unfortunately, he couldn't get that far in the playoffs to actually meet the Warriors in the conference finals because of course, Damian Leadership Lillard. Ooh, that's a great nickname for him. Well, there we have it. Damian Leadership Lillard. But Jokic, you did great this season, is which why you have number 5. Alright, coming in at number 4, it's your boy SC, Steph Curry. I'm also proud of him this season because him making his way back from his injury. He was very quiet at the start of the season. got injured, came back, and started being an MVP candidate for his team. It impressed me throughout the season. I watched games and I just wasn't surprised because he's Stephen Curry. It's just not surprising. He's a great shooter, which is a great advantage to his skills. And Steph Curry just did great this season. He came back and did great. It's like a couple games in after he came back, he was being this all-star, over an all-star Stephen Curry we knew. And he just did it. I don't understand how you hop in back from an injury, be an MVP candidate. That is a big hop. You hop in from an injury, then you go to being an NBA candidate. Wow, Steph. Like, that's something I'm just realizing. I ain't even plan to talk about that on this video. He hopped out of an injury and was an MVP candidate. And that is why you are at number 4, Stephen Curry. Great playmaking this season. Unfortunately, you're probably not going to be MVP because these 3 guys are probably going to make it because they are the NBA MVP candidates. Coming in number 3, Paul George. I call him Paulie Pauls. I made up a nickname for him too. He was outstanding this year. It's like you didn't even need Russ, although Russ was a big part. But Paul George, when Russ was not on his game, Paul George was there every game. It's like 30 games into the season, we start seeing this clutch Paul George that's scoring all these points for his team. He's scoring the most points every night. And it's kind of surprising because this is Paul George we're talking about for MVP. Not that he's not a good player, because he's an incredible player and we all know that. But Paul George in MVP conversations, this clutch shot right here is one of, I think, his best. And clutchness is one reason why he's at number 3 and is MVP candidate. He's at number 2 again. I'm not underrating him, but he's just at number 2 again. James Harden. There's always the small forward that's in front of him. I'm not going to tell you the small forward's name, but you probably already know him. But James Harden, his ability to take things into his own hands this season was out of control. As you see this shot right here, taking it into his own hands, 2 defenders around him, 1 defender about to come and make it a triple team, and James Harden just does it. That's what you see from him this season. He just does it. James Harden just does it. He was knocking down any shot. He was cold-blooded from three-point land, and he was just out of control. He was in sicko mode. Sicko mode. Look, this one right here too. Just, he'll do it. He'll do it. And that's his narrative this season. He'll do it. But, of course, he choked in the playoffs. I think Giannis deserves MVP this season. Giannis Antetokounmpo, for me, is number 1. He has been fantastic this season. A great leader. And is loyal to his team this season. Because right now he's saying, Milwaukee is where I want to be, and I feel like I can win championships here. The fact that he is that comfortable could bring great success. If you're that comfortable in a place, then you're very optimistic about what you're going to do. And when you're optimistic about what you're going to do, brings more momentum. And he was a total monster this year. He won't even be a monster next year. What do we call something that's over a monster. I don't know. A monster mixed with a giant? I don't know, but he'll be great next year. I think he'll be the supervillain of the league. He was this year, but it'll be even more of it next year. I think if Kawhi leaves Milwaukee and Kyrie leaves Boston and Jimmy Butler leaves the Sixers, the Bucks will make it to the finals because the East is so open. Just those top teams are so open. Because I think the people I just named, other than maybe Jimmy Butler, because he might go to the Knicks, and Kyrie, but I think Kyrie will go to the Lakers. But that's another story, though. I think the window is open for the Bucks and Giannis to make it to the finals next year. Thanks for watching this video, guys, on The Ultimate. This is The Ranker, signing off. Goodbye, everyone. See you very soon about more great topics. We're out. See you next time.